Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm kicking off a special series called Budgeting Blissmas, where we'll explore how to find joy and peace this holiday season without derailing our progress towards financial freedom, without derailing all the progress we have made since 2024. So, in this series, we will discuss everything from smart budgeting tips to debt free strategies. This series is all about celebrating the season while keeping our financial goals merry and bright. This series is to set the tone for a prosperous, worry free new year. All right, so we're starting this series strong with how to set realistic and achievable financial goals for the new year. Because let's face it, after the celebrations and the spending or the overspending, we still have the new year ahead of us. And we need a solid plan to tackle it. We're definitely going to need a solid plan if we derail our budget for November and December. We're definitely going to need a solid plan if we overspend. So, whether you are saving for the future, paying off debt, or just looking to spend smarter, grab your favorite drink, your cozy blanket, and let's get started with Budgeting Blissmas. How to set realistic and achievable financial goals for the new year. So, how do we set realistic and achievable financial goals? The key is finding a balance and breaking that big goal down into smaller, manageable steps. Let's take, for example, buying a new car. It shouldn't be a spontaneous decision. Instead, you might want to start with setting aside a specific amount of money each month for the down payment, checking your credit score to make sure you're going to be getting the most attractive interest rate, or planning to reduce your existing debt to increase your credit score so you can get the best interest rate. So, by tackling all these smaller steps, that dream, owning your car or getting a new car, it becomes more attainable without the added debt burden. So, let's break it all down step by step on how we can set realistic and achievable financial goals come this new year. So, financial goals are, let's say, our roadmap. Our financial goals are our personal roadmap. Without goals, it's easy to lose track of where you are, where we're going, especially financially. We want to know where we stand today, how we can improve, and in the direction in which we are going. For instance, Jody, who is she's an average budgeter. This is gonna be our person for today. She saved $5,000 for a car down payment in 1 year by breaking her bigger goals into smaller saving target. This small, steady progress helped her to achieve her dream car in November of 2024. So, without that plan, without that saving, without breaking down your goals into smaller, more attainable steps, it can become frustrating and it can lead you down a path where you don't want to go, especially when it comes to your credit. All right, so break your goals down because you don't just want to run into a credit decision which is going to cost you more, especially if you have, like I said before, existing debt that you need to take care of. All right, so remember now, your financial goals are important because they are your personal roadmap. And it's very easy to lose track if you do not have a GPS, if you do not have a roadmap, and you're going into new territory. If you have no direction and you're going into new territory, you're going to be lost. And that is why I do believe a lot of us get lost when it comes to personal finance because we did not have a roadmap. We weren't given guidance. We learn as we grow. And a lot of us, we are still doing it by ourselves. Because we didn't have the guidance, we are in a ditch. And we're fighting to get out of it. All right. Step number 2 is to reflect on your current financial situation. So, in order for you to set a plan, you must first understand where you are now. Where do you stand right now? You don't want to get a car loan if you already know that your income cannot manage another debt. So, review your income and expenses. Do an overall debt review. Review your savings as well. And you can use any budgeting tool. You can use your pen and your paper. But you definitely need to figure out what's realistic. How is it that you're going to be moving forward? Because you definitely need to know where you stand today, who you owe today, how much you're owing today, and when you need to complete this repayment by, so you can move into the direction that you want to go. You can be free financially to do the things that you want to do. So, step number 2 is to reflect on your current financial situation. All right. Step number 2 is to define your goals. And we're going to be defining our goals using the SMART framework. So, we're going to be specific. We're going to be setting goals that are well defined, they're clear, because your goals should not be vague. They shouldn't be ambiguous. We're going to set goals that are measurable. We're going to be creating goals with specific criteria that measures our progress as we go along. We're also going to be setting goals that are achievable. You don't want to set goals that will cause you to become frustrated and quit because they're just so impossible to reach. So make sure that the goals that you're setting are achievable. All right? We are also going to be setting goals that are realistic, within our reach, and that is also relevant to your purpose. Not anyone else's purpose, your purpose. And the next thing to complete the SMART framework is that we're going to be setting timely goals. So, with a clearly defined timeline, which includes a start date, it includes an end date, it gives you that timeline that you want to start to achieve your goal and the end date that you need to achieve this by. So, the purpose is to create some form of urgency depending on you. It depends on how soon you want to achieve your goal. So instead of saying, I want to save money in 2025, we're going to be switching that around to fit within the SMART framework, which is going to say, I will save $3,000, that's specific, by December 31st, 2025, by saving $250 each month starting January of 2025. So it's measurable, it's achievable, it's realistic, and you also can identify the time bound within. And I stress that I will, because I'm trying also to include some positivity within our SMART framework as well. So having clarity makes it easier to focus, and it also helps us to be motivated as we go along. All right. So step number 3 is to break down big goals into smaller milestones. So big goals can feel overwhelming, and when we set goals that are not within the SMART framework, again, it causes us to feel overwhelmed, and then it causes us to get frustrated, and it causes us to just quit. So break down your goals into smaller milestones. Let's say you want to save that $3,000 because you need to get a down payment for the car. So instead of fixating on the big number, $3,000, focus on putting aside the $250 each month. Then you can also break down your $250 depending on your paycheck. Let's say you're paid semi-monthly. You break that 250 into two. So you save 125 each paycheck. So you can meet that goal of 250 each month. So then you can meet your $3,000 goal. So smaller goals along the way will keep you motivated. And I must say, I am so guilty of this because I often tend to want to save, but in wanting to save, I want to save big and I want to do it in lump sum. When in truth and in fact, if I had just set aside a smaller amount, I would be well on my way to achieving the savings goal. And these are things that it's just a mindset shift for a lot of us because we know these things. We definitely know these things. But it's the urgency and the fact that for us humans, we want to get things done and we want to get it done now. We like to look at just the big picture, but we need to take the baby steps as well. All right. So, step number 4 is stay consistent and adjust as needed. So, the key to success is definitely consistency, it's not perfection. And a lot of us are just so fixated on being perfect instead of being consistent. So, automate your savings or set some reminders to review your progress. Let me back that up. Automate your savings, and I'm removing the word or because it shouldn't be optional. Automate your savings and set reminders to review your progress. Once you review your progress, it is going to motivate you to keep going. And remember, guys, life happens. If anything unexpected comes up, it's okay to adjust your goals. The key is to be consistent and to never give up. All right? My 4 steps is to setting realistic and achievable financial goals for the upcoming year. All right? So, step number 1 is to reflect on your current financial situation. Make sure you know where you stand and where you want to go. Set your goals using the SMART framework. Make sure it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's realistic, and it's timely. Step number 3, break down bigger goals into smaller milestones. And while you're at it, celebrate each milestone. Once you achieve that milestone, celebrate it. Praise yourself. Don't wait on someone else to praise you. Because if you don't praise yourself, if you don't celebrate your small wins, you're not motivating yourself. So celebrate your small wins. Step number 4, final step, is to stay consistent and adjust as needed. Remember now, it's not perfection. We're not striving for perfection. We are striving for consistency. All right? So that's it. Those are my 4 steps. That's your guide to setting financial goals for the new year. Remember, again, it's not about perfection. It's about consistency and it's also about progress. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet, please subscribe for more Budgeting Blissmas content. And as always, please feel free to leave me a comment. And if you do decide to subscribe, please leave me a comment and let me know so I can specially welcome you to my channel. All right? So let's come together. Let's inspire each other throughout this holiday season and into the new year. So until the next video, spend smartly,